signs, I've seen all the signs. They've been telling lies, they've been telling lies. Watching how I move, watching how I move. I've been keeping track now, watch out for the snakes. Watch out for the snakes.
Fort Worth officials say a potential copycat shooter wanting to emulate a shooting in the Midland, Odessa area stopped because his father called police. According to investigators, a man called police because his 27-year-old son withdrew hundreds of dollars from the bank and he had an intent to purchase a gun. Fortunately, several businesses turned him away after he failed a background check. The Fort Worth police chief says the man admitted to officers his intent. Chief Ed Cross says the refusal from merchants and the phone call from the man's dad prevented a potential mass shooting in the...
They're telling me lies, now I watch out for the snakes. Watch out for the snakes, yeah, watch out for the snakes. Watch out for...
In Gilroy sadly underscores that a critical incident can happen anywhere at any time, which is why law enforcement says training for these kinds of events is crucial in today's world. In fact, as we speak, emergency responders in Fort Worth are running a drill of their own, and it's where we find NBC5's Tim Siesko live for us this morning outside of Trimble Tech High School, where that's taking place. Tim, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Laura, if you take a look behind me, they're just wrapping up right now, but this is meant to look like a very real scene, and that's intentional on their part. They say the more realistic they can make a situation like this, the better it helps them process everything going on so that, God forbid, the real thing happens, well, they're able to think clearly and respond appropriately. Now, the scenario they were running out here this morning, a shooter has gone inside a school and opened fire. In addition to all the police officers, dispatchers, firefighters, and EMTs you had here, well, dozens of volunteers also helping with this training, playing the roles of the students and staff inside the school, and they're all taking it seriously. You've had officers running into the building to try to find the shooter. Others were tasked with getting survivors safely out of the building. Still more went in to help the victims. Now, just like the real thing, a lot of the emergency responders were given very limited information on what they were running into. Officials say practicing that in-the-moment decision-making is what really helps when a real incident occurs.
The saying goes, the body won't go where the mind has not been, so it's important for us to practice that. And when we do encounter a situation like that, it's not that overwhelming. We can respond appropriately. We can focus on what we've trained to do, what we need to do, and accomplish our objective.
Now, they recorded the entire scenario, both inside and out, and what they'll do now that the drill is over is review that, figure out what worked, what didn't work. That way they can come up with a game plan that hopefully gives them the best possible outcome.
Staying online, if you've been wondering, I'm doing fine. Made 150 in a year, I'm only 22, so don't pay me your time. Back with a track and I've been moving up. I'm a bachelor, but you know I've been getting love. And I'm back, I'm a rap when my life getting tough. I'm a master of the craft and I never give it up. I put in time, I earned a shine, I worked it out. I made it mine and fell in line, and I came a long way, not the wrong.
There was panic at an Arlington mall tonight. Reports of a shooting lit up social media. Good evening. I'm Erica Gonzalez. Police with long guns could be seen securing the area around Ballston Quarter, but there was never any evidence of a shooting. News 4's Darcy Spencer is live on the scene. Darcy, what did people at the mall tell you? Really scary situation.
Well, it certainly was, Erica, and the good news here is that it does appear to have been a scare, but you know, police have to take these things very seriously as though it is the real thing. And if you take a look behind me, you can see that there is still a very large police presence here around the mall as officers are inside clearing the building as well as the parking garage. They got the call for a shooting inside the Regal Theater here tonight. They got here and checked it out. At this point, it appears to be unfounded. Now, we want to show you some video. You referenced that there were long guns here. We saw Arlington County Police heavily armed inside and outside the mall here in Boston this evening. Police say they got the call for a shooting, again, in the theater area, and they've been out here on the scene for hours. But so far, like you said, no evidence of a shooting and no victims. There are tons of police out here. It looks like every officer on the force must have been here.
What did you say?
Like you said, no evidence of a shooting and no victims. Tons of police out here. It looks like every officer on the force must have been here.
What's happening? No.
Someone shouted out active shooter.
Oh, Jesus.
I seen all the signs. They've been telling lies, they've been telling lies. Watching how I move, watching how I move. I've been keeping track now. Watch out for the snakes. Watch out for the snakes, yeah. Watch out for the snakes. Watch out for the snakes, yeah. Watch out for the copying what I do every time. They wanna take what's mine. They busy faking and telling me lies. Now I watch out for the snakes. Watch out for the snakes, yeah. Watch out for the snakes. Watch out for the snakes, yeah. Watch out for the copying what I do every time. They wanna take what's mine. They busy faking and telling me lies. Now I watch out for the snakes. Y'all been.
Thank you for choosing KTSM 9 News. I'm Tatiana Favela. We start tonight with breaking news coming from across the border. A shooting breaking out inside a Juarez mall, leaving one person dead and 2 others injured. It happened around 8 p.m. this evening at Futurama Rio Grande Mall in North Juarez. Police say the shooting happened in the restaurant area in front of dozens of customers. One El Paso resident was at the scene tonight, and he says he was also there at the Walmart shooting on August 3rd.
What did you say?
One El Paso resident was at the scene tonight, and he says he was also there at the Walmart shooting on August 3rd.
Are you serious?
Being what I do every time. They wanna take what's mine. They busy faking and telling me lies. Now I watch out for the snakes. Y'all been too busy flexing. I've been too busy not checking. I learned my way from my lessons.
A suspect is on the run after shots ring out at the Cross Iron Mills Mall in Balzac. Airdrie RCMP put the mall on lockdown with dozens of shoppers stuck inside the mall for hours. The tactical unit, as well as K-9 and Calgary police forces, were brought in to help secure the area, and officers spent most of the night searching every inch of the incredibly large mall, slowly evacuating each and every store. Witnesses describe the fear and panic.
Witnesses describe the fear and panic.
Witnesses describe the fear and panic.
And I seen the police, you know how when they form like a line with their guns drawn and they're like walking through the mall checking. I saw them walking towards Puma like that, and they were yelling, "Everyone get out," that there was an active shooter. And they were yelling, "Everyone get out," that there was an active shooter.
Witnesses describe the fear and panic.
Fire exit.
I was just sitting there folding shirts, and then all of a sudden, cops come running through the hallways there, and they're telling everybody to get out the mall. So I'm like, all right, well, first reaction is shut the gate. I shut the gate for some reason. I told all the customers to get to the back of the store.
We were actually working, and we just heard people screaming and yelling from the food court.
Okay.
And then just running past back and forth. And then we just saw the cops come in and tell everyone to get down and shut their gates or get out as soon as possible.
The wrong way, know that one day I'll be big as Kanye. I seen all the signs, I seen all the signs. They've been telling lies, they've been telling lies. Watching how I move, watching how I move. I've been keeping track.